The alien princess's last plea to the human soldier: kill me or merge with me. The planet Eldora burned under the crimson sky. Fires raged through the forest, and the ground shook from the explosions of alien artillery. Smoke and ash covered the horizon, making the air thick and heavy. In the midst of this chaos, a group of human soldiers landed, their transport ships cutting through the red haze like silver blades. Captain Alex Ryden stepped out first, scanning the battlefield. His uniform was scuffed and dirt covered his face, but his eyes were sharp and alert. He had faced battle before, but Eldora felt different. There was a sorrow in the air, a sense of a world already dying. Stay close, Alex ordered his team. The Virelians are near. We're here to help, not fight them. The Virelians, native to Eldora, were tall and elegant creatures. Their skin shimmered in shades of silver and blue, and their eyes glowed faintly in the dim light. But now most of them lay fallen. The humans walked cautiously through the ruined city, stepping over rubble and broken bodies. Alex's heart ached at the sight. These were not enemies. They were victims. A scream shattered the air. It was high-pitched and desperate, cutting through the chaos. Alex and his squad ran toward the sound. Around a collapsed tower, they found her. She was small, fragile, and alone. Princess Lyra of the Virelians lay on the ground, her shimmering blue robes torn and covered in dust. Her breathing was shallow, and her glowing eyes flickered weakly. She tried to raise her hand, trembling, as Alex knelt beside her. "Princess," Alex whispered. His voice was gentle, though the battle raged around them. "I'm here to help." Lyra's gaze held him, fierce yet afraid. "No, you don't understand. If I survive, I will bring doom." Her voice was barely audible. "Kill me or merge with me." Alex froze. He had heard of Virelian merging in legends, but he never believed it. Merging meant combining one's mind and soul with another sentient being. It was a bond that could never be undone. Humans rarely attempted it, and if failed, it could destroy both lives. "Merge," Alex asked carefully. What does that mean?" Lyra coughed and tried to sit up, but her strength failed. "If I die, my power dies too, and the invaders will take it. But if I merge with you, my mind, my life will continue in yours. You will feel me, see through my eyes, know my thoughts." Alex looked around. Enemy troops were closing in. He realized the weight of her words. She wasn't just asking for survival. She was asking for trust. Trust that a human could carry her life, her knowledge, her consciousness. He shook his head. I can't decide that yet. We need to move you first." Supporting her between his arms, Alex signaled the squad. "We need cover. Move now." They ran through the ruins, dodging fire and debris. Behind them, explosions sent shards of metal and stone into the air. Alex could hear the faint cries of Virelians, still trapped under rubble. As they ran, Lyra whispered almost to herself, "Humans, you are brave, reckless, but good." Alex glanced at her. "We fight for life, not conquest. Isn't that right?" Her eyes glimmered. "Yes, and that is why you may survive where others fail." She smiled faintly despite her pain, a tiny spark in the darkness of Eldora. They reached a partially standing tower. It was not much, but it was safe enough to rest for a moment. Alex laid her gently on a piece of rubble. His squad formed a circle, weapons ready, eyes scanning the horizon. Lyra struggled to speak. "The merging is not just for me. It is for Eldora. If you refuse, the invaders will take my essence and they will become unstoppable." Alex sat beside her, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down on his shoulders. "And if I agree?" Her hand trembled as she reached for his. "Then you will carry me. You will see my world, my people, all I am, all I could be. And together we may save Eldora." A sudden blast shook the tower, and dust filled the air. Alex grabbed her, covering her body with his own. For a moment, the world narrowed to the sound of her shallow breathing and the pounding of his heart. The humans fought fiercely to defend the tower. Each enemy soldier that fell reminded Alex of the stakes. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for an entire species. And through it all, Lyra's hand rested weakly on his chest, a small, fragile connection that reminded him why he could not fail. As night fell, the battlefield glowed with burning fire and distant lightning. Alex stared at the stars, a small patch of sky visible through the smoke. He remembered tales of other worlds, of humans meeting alien civilizations for the first time, of impossible choices. And now, he faced the greatest choice of all. Lyra whispered again, her voice trembling but firm. "Alex Ryden, I choose you. You must choose me or let me go." He clenched his jaw, feeling both fear and resolve. He could see the logic, merging to give him a chance to survive, to protect Eldora. But the thought of carrying another consciousness forever, it frightened him. Yet, leaving her to die, that was impossible. The sounds of approaching enemy troops brought him back to reality. He stood, helping Lyra to her feet. "We need to move," he said, determination in his voice. "I don't know how this merger will work, but I will not let you fall into their hands." Lyra nodded weakly, leaning on him. "Then we must reach the sanctuary, the crystal forest. It is the only place safe enough to try." The journey ahead was perilous. The crystal forest lay miles away, through enemy lines and dangerous terrain. But Alex's human determination would not falter. Every step forward was a promise. He would protect this alien princess, even if it meant risking everything, including his own mind. As they moved through the ruins, Alex noticed small signs of life. Varillian survivors hiding in caves, injured and frightened, yet hopeful at the sight of humans. Their whispers followed them, words of gratitude and hope. He realized that humans were not just warriors. They were symbols of courage, of hope, of something that could unite species rather than destroy them. Lyra's voice broke through his thoughts. "Alex, do you feel it?" He looked at her, confused. "The connection, you feel it, don't you?" A strange warmth flowed through him, subtle at first, then stronger. A faint echo of her thoughts brushing against his mind. He realized that the Varillian merging was beginning, even without the ritual. Her life force was reaching out, and he could sense it. Alex nodded slowly. "I feel it, and I will protect it, and you." As they disappeared into the darkness of Eldora's ruins, the fires burning behind them, Alex understood that this was only the beginning. The choices ahead would be impossible, the dangers unimaginable, and the bond they shared would challenge everything he knew about humanity and life itself. But one thing was certain. Alex Ryden would not leave the last Varillian princess to die. And in the shadow of destruction, a human heart prepared to face the unknown, ready to save a world that was not his own. The stars above Eldora seemed to shimmer brighter that night, as if the universe itself had noticed a new alliance forming, a human courage intertwined with alien hope. And so, the last stand of Eldor began, not with weapons or fire, but with a choice that would change the fate of two worlds forever. The night in Eldora's ruined lands was dark, yet filled with strange beauty. Fires burned in distant forests, painting the sky in shades of orange and crimson. Amid the ruins, Alex Ryden carried Princess Lyra with steady determination. Her weight was light, but her presence felt heavy in his mind, as if her thoughts and memories were brushing against his own without permission. "Alex, we must hurry," Lyra whispered. Her voice was weak but urgent. "The Crystal Forest is the only place safe enough for me to survive the merging ritual." Alex glanced around, scanning the ruined city. Shadows moved unnaturally among the broken towers and fallen statues. Enemy patrols were still out there, hunting survivors, searching for her. "We'll make it," he said. "I won't let anyone touch you." For a moment, she smiled faintly. "Humans, brave, yes, but reckless." Alex chuckled softly. "Better reckless than dead," he replied. They moved cautiously, weaving through broken streets and collapsed towers. Every step was dangerous. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of burnt metal. Occasionally, they encountered small pockets of surviving Varillians, some hid in caves or behind rubble. When they saw Alex carrying Lyra, their eyes widened in hope. Murmurs of gratitude followed them like whispers in the wind. "Why do humans care so much?" one young Varillian asked as they passed. Alex shrugged. "Because life is worth saving. We fight for hope, not power." Lyra's eyes glimmered faintly. "And that is why I believe merging with you could work. Humans carry strength not only in arms but in hearts. The farther they went, the stronger the connection between them grew. Alex could feel subtle pulses of Lyra's mind, memories, feelings, fragments of her culture. It was overwhelming at first. He closed his eyes and focused, letting her thoughts drift past like a gentle river. "You can feel it, can't you?" she whispered. I think so," Alex said, slowing his steps. "It's strange, but I don't want to stop feeling it. Not yet." Suddenly, a shrill alarm rang across the ruins. Enemy drones hovered above them, scanning for movement. Alex dropped to the ground, pulling Lyra down with him. She hissed softly, gripping his arm. "Stay low and follow my lead," he whispered, using the ruined walls for cover. Alex led them through narrow alleys and fallen structures. The drone searchlights swept across the rubble like hungry eyes. Every pulse of light made Lyra flinch. Alex could feel her fear as clearly as if it were his own. "Almost there," he murmured. "The forest is not far now." The crystal forest was a sacred place for the Virilians. Gigantic trees with luminous leaves stretched high into the sky. Their roots glowed faintly in the dark, and the air shimmered with natural energy. Legend said the forest could heal wounds, protect those within, and amplify Virilian powers. For Lyra, it was more than sanctuary. It was a cradle of survival. As they approached, Alex noticed a large chasm cutting through the forest. A fallen bridge made crossing dangerous, but it was their only path. He set Lyra down and examined the structure carefully. "I can jump it," Alex said, assessing the gap. "Then I'll help you across." Lyra shook her head. "No, not yet. You must see. The merging is not simple. If you fail, both our lives." She stopped, trembling. "I cannot force this upon you." Alex looked at her, seeing the weight of the choice in her glowing eyes. "I won't fail, and I won't leave you behind." They crossed the gap carefully. Alex held Lyra close, feeling her pulse against his chest. Every heartbeat seemed to sync between them, a silent rhythm connecting human and Virilian. It was unnerving yet comforting. Once inside the crystal forest, the strange energy was immediate. Light shimmered off the leaves, painting the ground in hues of silver and blue. Alex felt his senses sharpen. He could see distant movements clearly, hear the faintest whispers of wind and life. Lyra looked around, her expression both relieved and anxious. "This is it," she said softly. "Here, I can survive and the merging may work." Alex helped her sit beneath a giant crystal tree. Its roots glowed beneath the soil, pulsing with energy. "Tell me what I need to do," he said. Lyra hesitated, then took a deep breath. "First, you must accept the connection fully. Feel my life, my thoughts, my fears, and choose freely." Alex nodded. He closed his eyes and reached out with his mind, tentatively touching the thread of her consciousness. It was like stepping into cold water, shocking at first, but gradually warming as he adapted. He felt flashes of her memories, her childhood playing under the crystal trees, lessons in diplomacy, her first taste of fear as her world fell to enemies, her joy, her laughter, her sorrow. It all flowed into him. For a moment, he panicked, nearly overwhelmed by the sheer flood of alien experience. "Focus," Lyra whispered. "Do not fear. I am here with you." Alex steadied himself. Slowly, he began to merge his awareness with hers, letting the sensations flow like a river instead of fighting them. He began to feel her thoughts as if they were his own, but without losing himself entirely. And then the forest shivered. The enemies had tracked him this far. A squad of marauders broke through the outer trees, weapons raised. Alex grabbed Lyra, standing protectively in front of her. "We fight together," he said firmly, his voice carrying the strength of both human courage and the merging bond. Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. "Yes, together, our minds, our hearts." The battle was fierce. Alex could anticipate enemy movements with Lyra's perception, seeing threats before they happened. He moved with speed and precision, human strength guided by Virilian awareness. Each step, each strike, was a dance of survival. When the battle ended, the enemies were gone and the forest was calm again. Alex knelt beside Lyra, checking her injuries. She smiled faintly, a mix of relief and pride. "You see, humans, you are capable of more than you know," she said. Alex laughed softly. And Virilians, you are more than legends. You are real, alive, and worth saving. For the first time, he realized the true potential of their connection. The merging was not just survival. It was understanding, empathy, and partnership. Together, they were stronger than either alone. Lyra's energy pulsed gently, and Alex could feel it flowing through him. Tomorrow, we must prepare for the ritual, she said. It will bind us fully and grant the power we need to save Eldora. Alex nodded, looking around the glowing forest. Then, tomorrow we face it together. Whatever comes, we survive, and we protect this world. As the night deepened, they rested beneath the crystal trees. The forest hummed softly, its energy soothing their minds. Alex felt Lyra's presence not as a burden, but as a partner. The merging had begun, but it was only the first step. In the quiet moments, he thought about humanity, its courage, adaptability, and determination. He realized that humans had always thrived by facing the unknown, protecting life, and taking risks for the greater good. And now, those qualities were not just his own. They were amplified through their bond. Lyra whispered in the darkness, "You are human and brave, and now, part of me as I am part of you." Alex smiled, feeling her presence in a new way. Then let's face whatever comes next together. The crystal forest glowed faintly under the starlit sky, a safe haven in the midst of war. But the journey was far from over. Tomorrow, Alex would make a choice that would change both their lives forever. And with the merging growing stronger, he knew one thing for certain. Humanity's courage, heart, and determination would guide them through whatever challenges lay ahead. As the first light of dawn touched the crystal leaves, Alex and Lyra sat together, a human and Virilian, connected not just by choice, but by hope. And in that quiet moment, the last seeds of Eldora's survival began to take root. The morning sun barely pierced the shimmering leaves of the crystal forest, scattering silver and blue light across the ground. For Alex Ryden, sleep had been impossible. The merging ritual loomed ahead, and with it, the weight of a decision that could change everything, not just for him, but for an entire world. Princess Lyra sat beneath the largest crystal tree in the forest, her body still weak from the battles and her injuries. She looked at Alex, her glowing eyes full of both hope and fear. "Alex, it is time," she whispered. "We cannot wait any longer. The invaders, they will come, and if we fail, Eldora will fall." Alex nodded, trying to calm his racing heart. He had trained for war, for impossible missions, for moments when human courage was tested. But nothing had prepared him for this. Merging with another mind, another life, was not a simple act. It was total trust, total surrender. And yet, he could feel the connection already. Lyra's thoughts brushed against his mind like gentle currents, now more vivid than ever. "I don't know if I'm ready," he admitted. Lyra reached for his hand. "You are ready. The heart that carries hope that protects life is always ready when it must be. I feel it in you. Humans, you are brave in ways even we cannot measure." Alex took a deep breath, letting her words sink in. "Then let's do it. Whatever comes, we do it together." The merging ritual required them to sit beneath the glowing roots of the crystal tree. Lyra instructed Alex to close his eyes and focus, letting his mind open to hers. Her voice was calm, a guiding presence in the strange new energy that surrounded them. "Feel my life, my memories, my fears, and I will feel yours. Let us bind ourselves, not as one dominating the other, but as two minds in harmony," she said. Alex obeyed. He closed his eyes and let the pulses of energy from the tree flow through him. For a moment, it was like standing at the edge of a storm, everything overwhelming and bright. Then, slowly, a calm washed over him. He felt her presence more fully now. Every emotion, every thought, every memory. He gasped. It was more than he had imagined. He saw her childhood, running through the crystal forest, learning the ways of diplomacy, feeling the first tremors of fear when the marauders attacked. He saw her victories, her losses, the laughter and tears of her people. And amidst it all, he felt her trust, fragile yet unwavering. "You feel it, don't you?" she whispered. "I do," Alex replied. "It's incredible." Before they could continue, the ground shook violently. Enemy troops had tracked them to the forest. Marauder ships hovered at the edges, sending squads of soldiers through the glowing trees. Alex opened his eyes and saw them moving with lethal precision. Their weapons glimmered in the reflected light of the crystal trees, their intent clear. They would stop at nothing to take the Verilian princess. "Alex!" Lyra shouted. "We must protect the ritual." Alex nodded. "Stay close to me. We fight together." Using the enhanced awareness the forest and the emerging merging provided, Alex could anticipate enemy movements before they even happened. His human reflexes, combined with a faint glimpse of Lyra's perception, made him almost unstoppable. Every dodge, every strike, every move was synchronized with her awareness. He felt her excitement, her focus, her fear, but not her doubt. Together, they were stronger than any single soldier. The first wave of enemies fell quickly, surprised by the human soldier moving with uncanny precision. But more were coming, and Alex knew they could not hold out forever. He glanced at Lyra. "We need to finish the ritual now." Lyra nodded, guiding him back beneath the crystal tree. "Close your eyes and let go," she instructed. Alex obeyed. He felt the flow of energy surround them both, the pulse of life from the tree merging with their own. He opened his mind fully, letting her consciousness flow into him. It was like plunging into water, initially shocking, but gradually the current carried him gently. He could feel her thoughts blending with his own, not overwhelming, but merging in harmony. "Focus on us," Lyra whispered in his mind. "Not fear, not pain, but hope." Alex clung to that thought. Hope. Humanity had always survived by holding on to hope, even in impossible situations. He let the merging complete, feeling a part of himself intertwined with her. He could sense her joys, her fears, her memories, her strength, and she could feel his determination, his courage, his humanity. The forest itself seemed to respond. The crystal roots glowed brighter, pulsing with life as if acknowledging the bond forming beneath their branches. Light flowed through their connection, a visual symphony of color and energy. Suddenly, a blast tore through the trees. Alex was thrown backward, pulling Lyra with him. Enemy soldiers had breached the outer defenses and were firing indiscriminately. He gritted his teeth, feeling the merging guide him. He could sense where they would move, how to protect both of them, and how to strike back. The battle was intense. Alex fought like never before, every movement enhanced by their shared perception. Lyra's thoughts guided him, allowing him to anticipate attacks and protect her from harm. The enemies were formidable, but together, human and Verilian were unstoppable. Finally, the last marauder fell. Silence returned to the forest, broken only by the soft hum of the crystal roots. Alex collapsed beside Lyra, breathing heavily. The merging had left them both exhausted, but alive, and more connected than either could have imagined. Lyra looked at him with glowing eyes, a faint smile forming. "You see what we could be together, stronger than the sum of our parts." Alex nodded, his chest still heaving. "I feel it. Your thoughts, your life, they are part of me now. But I am still me, and you are still you. Together, we are something new." For the first time, he truly understood the Verilian concept of merging. It was not losing oneself. It was expanding oneself. Two minds, two hearts, working in harmony to face the impossible. And humanity had never shied away from the impossible. Lyra reached for his hand, their fingers intertwining. "Tomorrow, we can begin to save Eldora. Together, we can fight not only for survival but for life, for hope, for future." Alex looked around the crystal forest, at the glowing trees and the calm energy that now flowed through them. "Then, tomorrow we make it right. Whatever comes, we protect Eldora. Together." As night fell again, they rested beneath the glowing canopy. Alex could still feel her presence in every thought, every heartbeat, every breath. It was a strange, beautiful bond, human and Verilian, separate but united. And he knew this bond would guide them through the coming battles, through the dangers ahead, and toward the hope of a future worth fighting for. Above the trees, the stars shone brighter than he had ever seen. And in their light, Alex Ryden felt something he had never felt before. Not just courage, but a sense of destiny. Humanity had always thrived by facing the unknown, by protecting life, by risking everything for the greater good. And now, that courage was amplified, shared with a life beyond his own, a life he would protect with everything he had. The merging ritual was complete. But their journey was far from over. Ahead lay the final confrontation with the invaders, the challenge of stabilizing their combined powers, and the responsibility of using their bond to save Eldra from destruction. Alex Ryden opened his eyes, feeling Lyra's presence like a second heartbeat in his chest. "We are ready," he whispered. Lyra's glowing eyes met his. "Yes, together, we are ready." And so, the human soldier and the alien princess faced the dawn of a new chapter, not just in their lives, but in the fate of an entire world. In the crystal forest, beneath the glowing roots, they prepare to take the next step, to use their merged strength to protect Eldra, to lead its survivors, and to show that even in the darkest of times, the courage, empathy, and determination of humanity could shine brighter than any enemy. The sun rose over Eldra, painting the forest in gold and silver. Alex and Lyra stood together, their bond stronger than ever, their minds intertwined yet distinct, ready to face whatever trials awaited. The last hope of a dying world rested in their combined hands, and humanity's courage burned brighter than ever before. The first rays of dawn painted the crystal forest in silver and gold. Alex Ryden stood beside Princess Lyra, feeling the rhythm of her consciousness intertwined with his own. The merging was complete, and with it came an awareness unlike anything he had ever known. He could feel her thoughts, her memories, her hopes, and she could feel his determination, his courage, and his unyielding human spirit. Together, they were no longer just human and alien. They were a force capable of shaping the fate of an entire world. "The invaders are moving again," Lyra said, her voice a gentle hum in his mind. "They will not give up Eldra without a final fight." Alex tightened his grip on his weapon, though he knew now it was more than a weapon that would win this battle. Their bond was the key. Then we faced them, together, as they moved through the glowing trees of the crystal forest. The Virilian survivors cautiously emerged from hiding. Some were injured, some weary, but all looked to the pair for leadership. Alex could feel the fear and hope in their hearts, and it strengthened his resolve. Humanity had always found courage in the face of impossible odds. Now it was time to prove that courage again, not just for themselves, but for an entire species. The first wave of invaders appeared at the edge of the forest. Ships hovered above, sending squads of soldiers with precision weapons. Their leader, a tall figure in black armor, stepped forward, radiating authority and menace. "Captain Ryden," the figure called out, voice distorted through a speaker. "Step aside. The princess belongs to us. Resistance is useless." Alex stepped forward, Lyra's presence guiding his every movement. "She belongs to her people," he said firmly, "and she is under my protection. You will not take her." A fierce light erupted from Lyra, shimmering through the merged consciousness. Energy flowed outward, amplified by Alex's human courage and focus. The soldiers froze, taken aback by the combined force emanating from the two. Their leader's eyes narrowed, realizing that this was not an ordinary human or Virilian. They were facing something entirely new. Alex focused, drawing on Lyra's memories of Virilian defensive strategies and his own human tactical knowledge. He guided the survivors, positioning them behind glowing crystal roots that provided natural protection. The invaders advanced, but every step they took was countered by a human-alien synergy that left them off balance and confused. "Alex, we can stop them if we work together," Lyra said, her presence calming yet urgent. "Trust me." He nodded, feeling her confidence bolster his own. "Then let's end this." For Eldra, the battle began. Alex moved like lightning, anticipating enemy attacks with Lyra's insight. Every dodge, every strike, every command was a combination of human reflex and Virilian perception. He could see the enemy's thoughts before they acted, but he maintained his own judgment, making decisions that no Virilian or human alone could have achieved. The survivors followed his lead, inspired by the fearless determination flowing from the merged pair. Humans and Virilians fought side by side, their coordination perfect, their morale unbreakable. The invaders realized quickly that brute force would not win this day. Amid the chaos, Alex felt Lyra's presence surge, guiding him to the enemy leader. The man moved with deadly precision, his attacks faster than any human could manage, but Alex anticipated every move, reacted with combined instincts of two species. "Now!" Lyra urged. Alex nodded, unleashing a pulse of energy from their combined consciousness. Light shot outward, not a harm, but to immobilize, disabling the enemy forces without unnecessary destruction. The invaders froze, stunned by the power and unity before them. The leader fell to his knees, shocked and defeated. "Impossible," he whispered. "How? How can one human, one alien, be this strong?" Alex looked down at him, his voice calm but commanding. "Because we fight not for power, not for conquest, but for life, for hope, for a future worth living." The leader, seeing the determination in both Alex and Lyra, finally yielded. His soldiers lowered their weapons, unable to oppose a force that embodied unity, courage, and compassion. The battle was over. Eldora was safe, for now. Survivors cheered, their spirits lifted by the triumph. Alex and Lyra stood together, surveying the field. It was a scene of devastation, yes, but also a beginning. From the ruins, they could rebuild together. Lyra reached for Alex's hand. "We have won a battle, but now the true work begins. Rebuilding, healing, uniting our people." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility, but also a deep, unshakable hope. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and humans had always found a way. Now, with Lyra's guidance and the merging bond between them, they could rebuild a world stronger than it had ever been. The Virilian survivors gathered around, some still in disbelief, others joyful. Children ran through the forest, laughing for the first time in months. Adults whispered to each other, sharing stories of the human soldier who had risked everything to protect them. "Humans," one elder said to Lyra, "your courage, your heart, it is remarkable. You have reminded us why life is precious and why we must protect it." Alex smiled faintly, feeling both pride and humility. "We all have courage inside us," he said. "Sometimes it takes a little spark to bring it out." Lyra's voice touched his mind, and that spark is amplified when we care for others, when we fight not for ourselves, but for life. In the weeks that followed, Alex and Lyra led the survivors in rebuilding Eldora. Human technology blended with Virilian knowledge. The forests, once scarred, began to heal. Homes were rebuilt using the glowing crystals, combining natural energy with human engineering. Roads were cleared, safe passages restored, and small communities flourished. Alex taught the humans about Virilian culture, their art, their philosophy, their science. Lyra shared the same knowledge with the Virilians, showing them human resilience, creativity, and compassion. Together, they formed a bridge between two species, proving that unity could create something far greater than either alone. One evening, as the sun set over recovering Eldora, Alex and Lyra stood atop a hill, overlooking the crystal-lit city that had begun to thrive once more. The merging had not just saved their lives. It had created a new understanding, a new way forward. "We did it," Lyra said softly, her presence calm and warm in his mind. Alex nodded. "We did, but this is only the beginning. Elder will need guidance, protection, and hope." Lyra smiled faintly. "And we will provide it, together." The wind carried the soft hum of the crystal trees, a soothing melody that spoke of peace and new beginnings. Alex could feel the bond between them as both human and Virilian, unique, unbreakable, and full of potential. "Humans," Lyra said aloud, addressing both species gathered below, "you have shown courage, bravery, and a willingness to protect life. You have inspired hope. Together, we will rebuild Eldora, not just as survivors, but as guardians of a future that honors both our peoples." Cheers erupted across the city. Human and Virilian voices joined in unison, celebrating their victory, their survival, and their unity. Alex felt a deep sense of pride, knowing that humanity's qualities, courage, empathy, resilience, and adaptability, had made this possible. In the quiet that followed, he looked at Lyra. "Do you think our worlds, our species, can truly live together?" Lyra's eyes glimmered. "Yes, because now we understand each other, and understanding is stronger than any weapon." As night fell over Eldora, the stars reflected in the crystal leaves, bright and shining. For the first time in a long while, the planet felt alive, not just surviving, but thriving. And at the heart of it all stood a human soldier and an alien princess. Their minds and hearts merged, guiding the future with courage, wisdom, and hope. Alex Ryden smiled, feeling Lyra's presence steady beside him. "We've faced the impossible and we've won. Humanity's spirit, our courage, it has carried us through. And now, Eldra has a new dawn. Lyra nodded, her glowing eyes reflecting the city below. A dawn where humans and Varillians will walk together, where life is cherished and hope endures. The crystal forest hummed softly, as if the planet itself approved. Life, resilience, and courage had triumphed. And in that triumph, humanity's heart shone brighter than ever, a light guiding a new future for Eldra, one built on trust, unity, and the enduring strength of human spirit.